Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Sacred Geography, and Shinrin-yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Monday, December 19th, a little after 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2022. The records are going to be broken in Florida Christmas Day. Hey, and that's the big story. Arctic blast this week brings the coldest Christmas in 40 years for millions. Keep calm. It's broom time. Winter storm watch, flash freeze, heavy snow, frostbite threat. It's insane. Potential pre-Christmas bomb cyclone could bring blizzard conditions into the Great Lakes and high winds in the east like a beast. A winter storm watch is issued for Chicago Metro for Thursday through Saturday. That is 3 days of the global warming goodness. And blizzard is highly likely. National Weather Service warns of life-threatening travel conditions in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Hello. Minus 52 wind chill expected in Colorado. Hello, frostbite within minutes. And winter storm to hit southeast Michigan just before Christmas. Everyone, almost everyone in all 48 states will see snow. Skier buried in avalanche for 8 hours on Wednesday is grateful for his heroic rescue. Before we get to the forecast, let's take a look at this.
My motto has always been the best way to not get an avalanche is don't ski in avalanche terrain. But obviously I took it just one little step too far.
Travis Hausner has been backcountry skiing for 12 years.
I've skied about 150 days a season, for hours on end on the weekends.
On Wednesday, he thought he was skiing on stable snow when suddenly he realized he was in danger.
I heard the big whomp, felt like the ground shake, and then all of a sudden there's this wall of snow coming down on me. That enveloped me, and then I thought that was it. I thought, my life was over.
Hausner desperately tried digging himself out using his one free arm.
In between digs, I started yelling for help in, the hopes of some miracle.
Miraculously, an off-duty Unified Fire EMT heard his cries and called in search and rescue teams. It took 8 hours to get Hausner off the mountain. He says his body temperature dropped to 93 degrees and he stopped shivering.
I was, guys, you got to get me down or I'm going to die up here. I will freeze to death.
The Utah Avalanche Center put out a special avalanche bulletin for this weekend, extending the warning beyond those who were up in the high elevation areas of the mountains.
And what's unusual right now is that snow has worked down into the mid and the lower elevations, so it's not just up along the ridges.
Lots of trailheads and foothills are now avalanche territory. Craig Gordon recommends sticking with low-angle, gentle terrain for now.
And we do as well. And as this snow forecast that we're about to get into increases, especially in the Pacific Northwest, we're going to see lots of loss of life from avalanche. We're talking 4 to 10 feet of snow through January 4th up in Washington State. 4 to 10 feet. There's going to be avalanches all throughout Idaho. Take a look at this. 4 to 6 feet of snow for much of Idaho. Almost 40% of Idaho under 4 to 6 feet of snow by January 4th. So we're going to have huge avalanche issues in the Pacific Northwest as we move forward early at the very beginning of winter here. Now let's walk it through. Here's your Tuesday into Wednesday. Heavy snow is going to be moving into the Pacific Northwest, including all of Montana, all of Idaho. And you can see here, by Thursday, that snow is going to be moving all the way over to Wisconsin, where we're going to be picking up those blizzard conditions in Minnesota, Wisconsin, even Iowa, where only limited snow is predicted, but heavy winds and bitter cold temperatures. Wisconsin's going to be the big winner chicken dinner by Friday, but take a look at what happens Saturday to Michigan. The lake effect snow is going to bury the entire western portion of the state, and that is when the nor'easter Christmas Eve begins to move up. Here's the 23rd. Take a look. There's a first wave that's going to hit the mountains in the Appalachians Thursday, and by Friday, take a look. Saturday morning, most of that snow is going to be moving up to the northeast. It is moving all the way to the shore now, so we could see snow all the way to the Jersey coast and even in New York City, but it's going to be very little bit of snow. So it's just it's a winter miracle that it's not a blizzard. There'll be heavy snow in the west and heavy lake effect snow, but almost all 48 states will be picking up some snow. Ho, ho, ho. Way to go. Big story is the cold. It's dangerously cold. It is going to be record-breaking cold, and it begins now. Here we are on the 19th. Here's the 20th. That minus 30 is going to be pushing east into Canada. Watch it move rapidly through Canada there and dipping down into the lower 48. Here is the Wednesday forecast as that plume, the Arctic plume, on Thursday pushes way down into Wyoming, heads up. And then look at this. Texas, the nexus of the schmexes, starting 2 days before Christmas, is going to be in the freeze zone continuously for 48 or more hours. 6 degrees in the Panhandle. 15, 18 near Tucson. Well, actually, that's Austin. Tucson's over here. But it's going to be 23 in Tucson, maybe. And look at this plume move down through all of southeastern U.S. Record-breaking lows everywhere. Burst pipes, moving freezing temperatures all the way down into central Florida. 31 degrees in central Florida. St. Augustine, the iguana apocalypse 2022 coming. Christmas Day, when you wake up Christmas morning, it is going to be, well, free white meat for everyone. And the Northeast is going to suffer after Christmas like nobody's business. We're going to see record-breaking lows there as well. So heads up and bundle up and be prepared. Don't be scared. Cold wave grips East Asia as well, felling all-time snowfall records across Japan with historic snow in Moscow. What's going on? Grand solar minimum much. Here is your white Christmas forecast for Europe. All of Scandinavia will be in the global warming goodness, including Heinrich's boyhood home. Heinrich Butenhuis out in Denmark is going to be picking up some snow, as well as all of the northern UK. Hey, take a look at that. The Alps are going to be having some nice totals through Christmas there. And then look what happens if we move the forecast just forward a little bit to 2 days after Christmas. Heinrich, you may be buried under a foot, 12 centimeters of the global warming goodness. So heads up if you're in Europe. Seismic update. No quakes of note, some small activity. I'm really concentrated here on the coast of Chile with some deep activity over the last few days. We could see a large quake popping up here in the next 24 hours. No quakes of note worldwide, which is good news. A cool graphic here coming from Science on a Sphere. Earthquakes from 2001 to 2015. And it's a graphic and it's awesome. You just hit play and you can see basically all of the earthquakes that have happened through that time frame, and the date passes below you here. Some really devastating earthquakes occurred during this decade, including many 9 magnitudes with tsunamis killing thousands of people. There's one of them. Boom. Holy macaroni. Indonesia. God bless you. So check out Earthquakes 2001 to 2015. All the links will be below to everything we talked about tonight. Worldwide volcano news update. All is quiet worldwide on the volcano front. Everything is erupting at normal or low activity. Nothing spectacular or dangerous or life-threatening. Space Weather Prediction Center showing solar X-ray flux falling off a cliff back down into the B range. The sun is going quiet during solar max. Solar proton flux completely quiet, and geomagnetic activity just at about KP 1.5. The disk has some sunspots as we are in solar max, but none of them are active in any way. Hey. The WSA annual predictions showing almost no increase. Some small increases may be moving in towards Christmas, which could accentuate that snowfall. Holy macaroni. But overall, very low aurora forecast. And, solar cycle 25 looking pretty weak. Weaker than 24 at this point. So, heads up. A 3,500-year-old bronze hand. Archaeologists have never seen anything like this. And they're baffled. But it's quite clear. Archaeologists in Switzerland have come across a truly baffling yet potentially very important discovery buried within an ancient grave 3,500 years old. A bronze hand with a gold cuff around the wrist. Clearly, this was a tie, and this was one of the oldest prosthetics ever, and a deadly one at that, with attachable spears, perhaps. This is a guy who had a stump and had this fashioned for him to be used in fighting. And yet, archaeologists are baffled. But diamond isn't. Now, more than 100 new designs have been discovered in Peru's ancient Nazca Plain. As we start to unravel the history of the natives of our continent, findings this month of geoglyphs, which date back more than 2,000 years, are smaller than can be seen from the ground, and apparently are a bunch of alpacas and other animals. And a dude up there, 278. More than 100 new designs discovered in and around Peru's ancient Nazca Plain and surrounding areas could bring new information to light about the mysterious pre-Columbian artworks that have intrigued scientists and visitors for decades. This is the same as the Adena people where we showed you the pipe last night. Same group of people living and populating in all of North America, South America, and Central America. Some call them the Mayan, others name them the Adena, and here they're called the Nazca. But the Americans that lived here called themselves by the tribes in which they lived. And they were living harmoniously, for the most part, until we wiped them off the map. Snowden wants Twitter CEO position, and I couldn't concur more. I think he should get it. All he needs is compensation in Bitcoin. What say you, Elon? Lab-grown meat could be served up for dinner soon. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Now, we already know that the plant-based burgers and other food products are failing miserably, which is good news because Al Gore has a huge stake in that kind of crap. But this is a different thing. This is actual lab-grown meat that's meat, only it's grown in a lab. And it might be people. And I'm sure it's even more disgusting than plant-based meat. It might taste more like meat, but the whole thought process that this was grown in a lab, I don't foresee many consumers lining up to buy this garbage. What say you? Please leave a comment below. Now here's good news. Monsanto to pay $698 million for polluting Oregon's people. And now they're actually called Bayer, because Bayer bought Monsanto. This has been an ongoing saga for over 8 decades, 10 decades. Since 1910, Monsanto became Bayer, then Bayer Monsanto, then Bayer became Monsanto, then Monsanto became Bayer, and now we're back to Monsanto, and then Monsanto recently became Bayer again. Two of the most deadly, disgusting multinational corporations on earth that, well, have no stake in making you healthy, wealthy, or wise. In fact, you are the sheep that they suckle on. Go buy them aspirin. Everything you need to know about the Ursid meteor shower, including when it peaks and how to watch. Well, you need to look north, right at the North Pole, the pole star, Polaris, Ursa Minor. And that is the radiant for the Ursids. Now, the Ursid meteor shower peaks during the night of December 22nd into the morning of the 23rd. Yes, just a few days from now. Fortunately, those late night and into early morning hours aren't the only time slots you can try and find the bolides in the sky. The Ursids commenced on December 17th, 2 days ago, and will remain active through the day after Christmas. So get your fat ass off the couch, go outside, and look to the north. I did say that. Now, I did an awesome interview about 10 days ago with Nigel from the Lawful Rebel YouTube channel. He has a great podcast called Living Outside the Matrix, I believe. And we did about an hour or so, and it was hilarious. We had a lot of fun. We talked about a lot of topics. The alleged climate emergency, magnetic excursions and solar flares, and their potential effects on humanity and our future. So if you're interested in those topics, and I know you are, please go support the Lawful Rebel. Subscribe to Nigel's channel and check out the awesome 1-hour interview he edited up for us. And tell him Diamond sent you. One other piece of news, 2 videos being available for free for the next few days from Free Movies on YouTube. Bob Lazar's Area 51 and Flying Saucers, and Hunt for the Skinwalker. Both of these videos were produced by Jeremy Corbell, and he's putting these up for free for the next few days. So go check them out. All the links will be below. And that's a boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and Happy New Year. Just a few more days till Christmas, and it is going to be a historic, record-breaking cold Christmas. So please, if you know people that need help, need firewood, and maybe need a place to go because they don't have the money to heat their home or something, do the right thing and be the change you want to see. We love you. Be safe.